So, Luke, you have had a wide and lustrous comedy career, or whatever the hell sort of adjectives I should have used just then. Perhaps great. So why?
Well, the key is to become as much of a sellout as you possibly can.
Right.
Shoebox is. Here's what you do. See, let's say you were going to take, something popular that came out in a certain year, like the third Harry Potter movie, and then you were going to combine it with like an old school hip hop song everyone likes, like "Oh, Baby Got Back." You take that formula and then you put that together, and you can get a really big hit on the Dr. Demento show.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's how you do it. So I invented this formula, and I guess people can just rip it off at will and claim that they're original and stuff. But I invented that formula, and anyone who benefits from that formula basically owes their whole funny music dementia career to me. Basically.
Such as, for instance, Weird Al Yankovic.
It's kind of it's Al, I would say, is a living god on earth. And actually, truth be told, not many people know this, but he came before I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Before you?
Yes, before me.
You're kidding me.
So basically,
I thought he was like your apprentice or something.
No. Actually, it turned out that he was
Nice ambiance for this interview, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So in conclusion, the Republican Party really doesn't know what it's doing.
Yes. So, speaking of this formula, I understand that you applied this, I believe, in the year 2002 or so.
Yes, that did happen that year. I had a song that basically rose to the top in that particular frame of time, known as 2002.
Combining two things that were popular at the time, as I recall.
Yes, an old school song and a thing that was popular.
Old school song.
Run DMC and Spider-Man movie.
Indeed.
Yes.
Spider-Man movie.
So what are you driving at here?
I seem to have some recollection of this. I remember hearing this song, in fact, and I remember thinking, my God, well, let's just, since we're in an interview format, how many cocks exactly did you have to suck to get that song in the air, much less to get it to be the most requested song in the Dr. Demento show that year, when, the obviously superior Frank's not in the band anymore by Worm Quartet came in at number 2?
Now, I thought we had grown beyond this, Shoebox. Really.
Beyond this?
Yes.
How can we move beyond this? I mean, you're talking about this formula, and you just apply this formula. Meanwhile, I'm singing from the heart about something that actually happened to me with a drummer, and here you are. Look at the great Lucy. Look at me, I'm so great. I got a formula. A formula. All the sci-fi geeks love me.
Shoebox.
What is it? Yes. Donuts? For you?
Are you gonna be a good Shoebox? Are you gonna tell people that I'm cool and get me gigs in Rochester?
You rock, Luke. You rock.
There you go. There.
Down I go.
And now a word from Prozac.
So anyway, I understand you're really big in the whole sci-fi community. That's kind of where you've latched on and really made your mark. I mean, how did that come about?
Well, basically, back when I was in college and had no friends, I of course gravitated towards the reruns of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which were on syndicated TV every night. And I kind of put this two and two together, that people who like funny music tend to also be people who go to science fiction conventions, and I figured out, well, if I do songs on these sci-fi topics and then take my act to these conventions, I could perform there, they would think it was funny, and if I put out product like CDs that had these songs, they would buy them. So that became the basis of my career, is gearing the majority of my act towards the fandom community, as it's known, and yeah, that's where that whole thing happened.
And how many drunk people would you say you interact with on, say, a regular basis?
Well, if you were to take the average over the past 365 days-ish, I'd say 0. If you're rounding down. But in the past 48 hours, I'd have to say about 17 and a half.
Right.
And the majority of them basically are encouraging me to become as drunk as them, or taking microphones away from guys in Satan suits and singing badly to my background music for no apparent reason whatsoever in places like Syracuse.
Central New York creates another alcoholic. Back to you, ASCAP. We can do more.
Let's do two quick.
Splice things in. Yes. Better questions than I'm coming up with. I'm an idiot.
Let's throw in two other ones that I'm hitting most bands with. One, what's the weirdest thing that's happened to you playing a show? 2, is everything you're doing worth it?
Okay.
Okay, so I'll let you
I'll
ask
these
them.
things. I'll let you think for a moment if you wish.
Let me think for a moment.
Go ahead.
So then, to a standard question. What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you at a show?
Well, it's kind of hard to come up with the absolute weirdest, but one that does stick out in my mind is I was performing at Dragon Con 2004, and it was part of the Star Wars costume contest halftime performance. And a couple funny things happened during that. As I was performing, I was in the middle of a set. I can't remember which song exactly, but somebody walked by, and as I was performing to this large group of like several hundred people, somebody like reached out to shake my hand while I was performing, while he was walking by, and I shook his hand as he walked by, and he kept going, and I was like, it just didn't make any sense. Why did he walk by and shake my hand in the middle of the show? Why did he assume that I would want to shake his hand? I mean, I went along with it because I didn't want to seem like a jerk. I didn't want to like make a fool of myself. So I'm like, yes, thank you I'm glad you like it. Later on, I figured out it was Ray Park, the actor who played Darth Maul in Episode 1. And it was just, and like later I'm like, oh shit, I guess it's a good thing I didn't be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, because then he would have been all like, and then I would have. Anyway,
and then 2 pieces.
Same show. They told me to only do like a 12-minute set, and of course they needed more than 12 minutes, so I had to stall for time. So I ended up doing more material than I intended to, and I started singing my song about Boba Fett based on the original trilogy. And then as I'm singing, I looked down and I realized Daniel Logan, who played young Boba Fett in Episode 2, is like down by the judges table, like doing math and stuff, and I'm like, oh crap, here it comes. So I get to the chorus, bad, Boba Fett, and like right when it hit that, he went, here, hold this for me, Shoebox. It's like, right when it hit that chorus, it was like, he went like this, and he just started dancing around, and the crowd really got into it. It was pretty cool.
Nice
So,
dance. Can I get that on video?
Wow.
Oh, wait, he's already got it.
Yeah, we're doing an interview.
I remember my first beer. So yeah, that was the weirdest thing other than being interrupted during a video interview.
Okay.
So last question.
The other question would be, why? Why, in the name of God, do you do this?
I do it because I figured out about a year or so ago that I was making more money doing this than having stupid retail day jobs. So I might as well give a chance trying to make money doing, making a living doing my art and my comedy and stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to, live a meager ramen noodles filled existence. But if it's someday, at some point in the future, it pays off and I can actually make a more comfortable living and get things like health insurance and a house and a wife and kids and an iguana, then things would be perfect.
Well, on behalf of all of us that are in the comedy music industry and still have day jobs,
Did you say it's all been worth it up to this point?
Has it all been worth it up to this point?
should I not have done that?
Why?
It's this point, no, but hold on, wait. This point, it's been worth it up to this point right now.
Okay,
so yes,
It just became worth it in the last 5 seconds?
yes.
What happened?
You threw the donut in your mouth and you caught it.
Glad I could help.
Yes. And now here's a word from your sponsor. Buy things! Just buy them! Why are you not buying things now? Buy things so that he can feed his son! He feeds his son little dirt and sticks he finds in the street. If you buy a thing, his son will eat things that aren't dirt.
I don't even clean the bugs off.
No, he doesn't. So please give. I'm Sally Struthers, and you can blow me.